literally, in my opinion, which is the correct opinion, purple as a color does not need to exist because anything that is purple would look better if it was red or blue. And that's it. That's my
it?
opinion.
I think purple.
That's it. All right. You know what? Counter theory here.
No, that's evil. Purple. God. Purple is freaking super.
I really hate the smug Dex smile when he clicks the go live. Button.
Here,
like,
wait,
as soon as
wait. Purple jump scare.
No!
That's more of a blue.
Yeah, that's blue. That's fine.
It is a little blue, yeah, I guess.
I can't tell if it's just my monitor. Yeah, I think it's my monitor.
Through all of his presets, like, come on, I have to have a purple one. I know I do.
I'm just changing the hue.
No.
Oh my god, it's perfect. It's purple.
Oh my god, this is evil. This is evil.
Okay, because I don't want to go back through and change everything on everything else.
Yeah, let me go back to regular Hunter.
Wait, they remade the color purple?
What?
What do you remade?
There's a movie called The Color Purple.
Okay,
and
what's it about?
Released in what's it called? Yeah, it dropped in 1985, and they remade it 2 years ago.
Yeah, apparently the book for it won the Pulitzer back in 1983 as well. There you go.
Yeah, no, it's a really good movie. It's like like African American empowerment and stuff like that.
But back to the topic, Reach. I'm on the exact opposite spectrum here when it comes to purple. Personally, and this is not me like trying to farm or anything. I think purple is an incredible color, and the fact that it's not used more is a shame.
True.
It's incredibly hard to use, though. To be fair,
no, it's not.
As somebody who enjoys purple, like, you don't think it is, but like in terms of like with other colors, there's really not a lot of good looking combinations. I think was it the later Gladiator skins that were like pink and purple, or is extreme evidence of that, of how hard it can be to combo purple with anything that's not black.
I mean,
but the argument is they had it right the first time as well. There was a clear instance of the purple working for the Gladiators. They just decided, let's make ugly skins.
Because it was purple in black. Like, purple works with black, but it doesn't really work with a whole lot
but
else.
but everything works with black. Black works with black.
How the hell am I dropping frames on a recording?
Maybe we should pick them up.
Pick them up.
I was going to make the argument that I wear purple a decent amount, but then this was the image I was going to pull up, and it's just me wearing 3 different shades of purple.
3 different shades. 3 times the horror.
I loved watching Reach's cat image load in.
Yeah, I forget. Oh, why? I'm getting pissed off at this. All my stuff is moving. And, getting real. Oh god damn it! I moved everything right there. I'm just gonna go back to this. Oh god. Okay, but Reach, no, I think you're wrong. Purple's incredible.
I'm shaking my head in real life right now.
Yeah. Listen, both of my titles I've won in Overwatch, our logos were purple, so I can never hate the color. It's objectively impossible.
Hey, but hey, Mega was absolutely right. She saw the smug smile, and I purposely stopped Reach from talking about why she hated the color purple, so that could be what we come in on.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, but everyone, as always, welcome back to episode number 18 of For the Love of Prod. My name is Dexatron. I'm joined again by Huntertain, Megalass, and our guest this week is Reachdat. And Hunter, I saw you like twirling the hat around, and it was messing with the green screen. It's like, what's in your hand?
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Winston. Didn't mean to mess with you, bud. No, it's just a hat from the Anime Free that I have that I like a lot, and my hands one is only to fidget with, so a hat it shall be.
Fair enough. I'm always constantly just messing around with my pencil, write stuff down during the podcast. But Reach, thank you so much for coming on this week. You are a person that we've really talked about coming on here a couple times, but we didn't want to get you on shortly after we had on someone like Orange or someone like shit. Why am I so bad with names?
The
Man, you
whole
got-
server list.
There's
They're
a
all there.
whole list.
Yeah,
We literally
I-
we're collecting a Pokédex here.
When I'm recording this, it's in streamer mode, so all the names disappear other than the first letter. So
Maybe streamer mode. What?
because I
Yeah.
record on OBS.
Because OBS is open,
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
it
But
automatically goes to
You
streamer
can
mode.
just go into Discord and just disable it, even
Well,
if
if I
OBS
just
is on.
if I disable it, then all the ping noises come through.
That's funnier.
Not to me.
Trust me. After Thursday's Face It game, no, it is not funny.
It is
It's
not.
funny at all.
But Reach, like I said, you were one of the people that we were talking about getting on here at some point very, very soon after we started. But we didn't want to kind of burn through a lot of our observing friends early on, just because we probably expect that these episodes, especially with our observer friends, are going to be a little bit crazy, just because you guys kind of are insane.
No denial whatsoever.
Yeah, I can't really deny that.
Just a smug laugh instead. I think that's even scarier. Zay has the fucking Zoom. But Reach, you told us that you listened to a little bit or the entirety of the Orange episode here, so you kind of know what the first part of the episode is going to be dedicated to. Reach, what got you into doing stuff in esports and with esports production?
So when I first went to college at UMD, I wanted to join a club, because I had no friends. And then I saw the esports booth, and I saw that they were looking for like observers and casters and stuff for all their titles. So I was like, I don't want to cast, and so I applied as an observer, and then I got it. So I worked there for a while, for like a semester, and then from there I started doing freelancing in GC Valorant specifically, very low tier GC Valorant, and then I've just kept going from there.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of similar to how I got started as well. Difference was I tried out for my college esports team, realized I sucked, but I wanted to do something with the program, so I just said, "Hey, I can learn how to cast. I won't be as bad at that, hopefully." But so how long have you actually been doing this? Like how many years?
Oh God. I think it's almost 3 years now. In like a month or in like in like September. So like 4-ish months, I will have been observing for about 3 years. So I'm kind of old, you could say.
Don't talk about being old on this podcast. Don't. I'm pretty sure we are all older than you, and Hunter is dying from his second heart attack.
My back.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, anytime someone talks about their age on this podcast and we know that we're older than them, Hunter gets very very emotional.
Oh God.
I don't know
All
how
good,
Mega
all good.
I don't know how Mega reacts to it, since the VTuber model only has the one smile.
What do you mean? No, it smiles because I'm smiling. I'm being normal. Don't get me wrong. In my head, I'm thinking about like doing things that would get us dismonetized if I say them. But
You think we're monetized to begin with?
I mean, do you want me to say the things I can say? I don't think so. I do not think you want that.
I mean, it's going to be a while before we make any money on this podcast. One episode being demonetized is not going to kill this if it ever does.
Your Honor, keep it pushing before I smack you.
Fair enough.
Anyhow.
Yeah, anyhow. Yeah, but I mean, so almost 3 years here. I mean, I kind of know what it's like to have that kind of, and I'm going to say like very quick kind of rise within your first couple years. Cause I mean, I went from casting for my school's team to working CGL, I think within the first year of me casting. And I think it was insane to see like the different levels of production from going from my school, which was one observer and me and my co-caster casting off of a Yeti snowball, to CGL having for observers, a producer, and the two casters being in completely different rooms. What was that kind of experience like for you?
I'd say it was pretty good. So when I first started freelancing, I got to work with like I'd say a few months after I started freelancing. So this is like 6, 7 months after I first started observing for my school. I got to meet Adam, who is like my first esports friend, and he really I did not speak at all, but he really likes my observing, and so he started like contracting me for events. So like within my first year, I was able to work like DreamHack and like Red Bull, like fucking CVAL. Like it was. Oh, sorry. I don't know if I. Oh, so I'm not. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse. Okay.
You're allowed to curse.
But like, since I was always working with him, it never really hit me like the importance of the events I was working, because it was just the same crew. It was just him and my duo obs, and him and me. So it took me a while. It took me it had to get to a point where I wasn't getting those gigs for me to be like, damn, I kind of miss that. I miss like the good quality. So I had like a moment of like, oh man, I miss getting paid a lot.
I mean, yeah, that's completely fair. But like, I mean, there's still times where I go back and help out my old college, or I guess you would call it an alma mater at this point, with casting certain stuff.
Mhm.
And like the difference in just still how their production kind of works, especially because I'm calling in, or V-mixing in, or just watching over Discord, kind of like how, you know, some producers do it in CGL and BP on all those other leagues. It's very different sometimes, just to kind of see like, okay, the other caster is normally kind of running back and forth between the casting booth and also producing it at the same time, because it's just that scuffed. And I don't blame them for that, because again, students can't be asked to work at like 9:30 anymore.
Yeah.
But like, it's insane to see that kind of difference. But now, heading into the kind of second part of the question here, well, I probably know the answer, as you've kind of already hinted at here and there. What kind of keeps you coming back to doing all this stuff?
I think my favorite, like the reason why I keep coming back, is like the improvements that I can see in my own observing. Like I spend a lot of time VOD reviewing on my own, and like studying up on on like tier 1 observing, um and like being able to like see actual improvement is probably like the most satisfying thing, because I don't know, it's just really satisfying to be able to see that.
Yeah, and I mean, that's something that we've all kind of talked about here. And I mean, it's one thing where I always kind of wish I had the first time I ever casted, if the VOD was reviewed or saved somewhere, so I could go back and watch it and just kind of see how much I've improved in the 5 years it's been now. And I know Hunter and Mega would say that same thing, but wait, Hunter and Mega, do you guys have VODs of your first ever cast?
It's one of the clip is like one of the most like big clips on my entire Twitch. It's been there for like 7 years. Crazy. In fact, I'm gonna send it to you. It's terrible quality, but I'm gonna send it to you anyway. Doesn't mean you have to play it, but I'm gonna send it to you.
I'm gonna play it since you're sending it to me. But Mega, what about
Great.
you?
I mean, gosh, I don't even know. It's been so long.
Yeah, I think much like Hunter, there is a clip of the first time I ever casted, but it wasn't anything of the game. It was me and the co-caster just talking about what we saw, and I think I just ended up using, I think, the word "and" every other word, and it was horrible. Like, you could tell I had no idea what I was doing, but Like it's funny to go back and watch on that. And Reach, like you kind of said, like you're always kind of striving for improvement here, which is one of the things that we are all doing. What's been one of those things that when you go back and VOD review yourself or watch T1 observers, what's like the biggest takeaway that you are looking for in that kind of situation?
Like when I VOD review good observers,
Yeah, or VOD review yourself.
it's kind of hard. So I have to like mentally compartmentalize what things are a result of like my nerves or like things that I cannot change versus things that I can change. So I have to be aware of the mistakes that I'm making versus things that I just can't do. So like after a certain point, my reaction speed cannot get much better. But if I have a habit of like, for example, I had this habit where I have this habit now actually of where after someone gets a kill, I switch off of them very quickly so I don't miss action that's happening somewhere else. But to the viewer experience, I realize it looks very choppy because like someone gets a kill, you don't really get a chance to really process that it happened, and then you're on to the next thing. So it's like stuff like that I know that I can realize that I'm doing it and then work on for next gigs.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah. And I understand that a little bit differently. Like I understand where you're coming from there with like casting, where especially when I first started, it was like, okay, someone dies, quickly say like, oh, they're dead, then move on to the next thing. But it's important at times to kind of, you know, stick with what just happened there and kind of carry on that thought for a moment. Yeah, even though they might go on to like do something very big, get another kill right after it, I kind of look at it as like slowing down is necessarily something that really does actually improve a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to doing esports productions.
Mm-hmm.
So Hunter sent me the clip. Let me get it all ready.
Yeah, like that's the oldest thing I have. I have VOD of 2020 for when I did early CGL stuff. Like there's a whole playlist that still exists, thankfully, on the YouTube channel of like 3 or 4 casts that I did back in 2020 with some people that I have not talked to in years now, unfortunately.
All right, so I don't know how loud this is gonna be.
Don't worry. I definitely don't scream or anything.
Diving is their best option if you're to secure the fight.
Wait, it's a C9! Oh my god, it's a C9!
What an ending.
After an amazing hold. 2 holds from Trans.
What an ending.
What an
What league was this?
ending to a playoff.
2018 Hunter was on some.
It's unfortunate too. It went so
2018
good.
people
It's
playing
an
Goat
amazing.
feels good, man.
Oh god,
This
this
was
is goats.
good. This is part of the story that I told on the the test episode when you asked us the same question that you asked our guests. That production that I had to step in for at the last moment and do everything on. That is this. That is what this is. So you get a little bit of extra lore right there.
Well, I mean, if people go back and listen to the first test episode, they would. I mean, it would come full circle. But
If only they did.
I mean, hey, it's the first test episode. It's not necessarily the best, and let's be honest, we've improved a lot since then. But I mean, much like with VOD reviewing, I mean, we've talked about VOD reviewing a lot here, especially with all the guests that we've talked about it with. Who do you like? I always think it's interesting to consider like how does a observer VOD review themselves. I know that fuck, why the hell can I not speak? Holy shit. How does it really work, VOD reviewing for an observer? Like what's the feedback you're really looking for?
The way that I VOD review is, well, first off, I have to mute the audio because if there's casters in my ears, it gets a little distracting. And you have to just like entirely detach yourself from what is happening. You can't just view it. I feel like you have to think objectively about what is the best course of action here that could tell the best story. And then if I was unable to tell that story while I was observing, then I have to go in deeper and think like, oh, I switched here when I shouldn't have, or like, oh, this was kind of timed wrong, or like I kind of guessed that wrong for this reason. Like, you just have to like detach yourself from the stream itself. It's interesting. It's kind of hard though.
Yeah, 'cause, like I would always imagine with observing, because I've done it. I've done observing 2 times. And it like I think getting in there and actually doing observing like really let me know how hard it truly is. I knew it was difficult before. I wasn't someone who's under the impression like, oh yeah, observing's so easy, going into it, and then realizing right away like, oh my god, no, it's hard. I completely understood that it was going to be something very, very difficult, because like you kind of already mentioned, you don't want to be moving through players too fast. You don't want to be, going to a player that not really doing anything, or just in the wrong spot to get anything really. It's like the angles that some observers get is insane to see. So there is a lot of respect for observers. But like what's one piece of information that someone that was you were VOD reviewing with like kind of gave you and that really helped you out?
When I first started observing, I got to get a VOD review with Days Dreams, who's like a tier 2/tier 1 Valorant observer, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity. And it's kind of silly, but she basically told me that the order that they're at the top is like at the top HUD is 1 to 0, and I didn't know that because I don't know. I just thought there was a random order, and I was just not thinking. But when I don't know, sorry, that's like the only thing I can think of, because that literally blew my mind. Oh my god, it was crazy. I was like, holy shit! That you just unlocked a whole new world for me here. So yeah, I'd say that was the biggest piece of advice anyone's ever given me.
I mean, like, I'll be honest with you, like, that is one thing that I did not know necessarily right away. I think I actually set all the players that I have on my F key. So I have like F1 through 5 and F6 through 10 on my keyboard set to all the players. And it makes it a lot easier until you realize like, oh, my fingers are not in the right spot.
Yep.
Context. But I mean, what's one thing that you had to kind of learn on your own? Like, you kind of like you didn't necessarily expect to kind of learn it the way you did, but like it kind of came to you naturally, and like when it hit you, it like hit you that you were doing it so wrong before because this new way that you just found out is like insanely better.
Oh, I would say my so the way I POV observe for Valorant specifically, I don't use the normal like 1 to 0 on my keyboard. I use a special number pad because it's like my training weights. It helps me to slow down a bit. Because I use one hand to observe, so it helps me slow down as opposed to when I have all my fingers on like the keyboard. It's like too many inputs. I'll either like press the wrong key or I'll kind of switch too fast. So that like having those training weights on and in the moment being more deliberate with my switches helped me so much. It was insane. The change was insane.
I would imagine. But one thing, like, you observe a lot of games. I know you observe Overwatch, Valorant, you observe Rivals. Is there any other game that you do?
Not really. I mean, I've done some Deadlock, but it's only when they need me, which is not very often. Yeah.
I was gonna ask, like, have you kind of maybe dipped your toe a little bit into like CS:GO or CS2? Because it kind of like, I feel like that's very similar to Valorant. Yeah, Valorant. Has anyone ever asked you if you are able to observe that one?
I joined like a server for it once, but they literally crumbled the moment I joined, so I was not able to actually observe any. Yeah, I would. It's definitely something that I want to try out. I want to try that out, and I also want to try out, was it Apex Legends? So I got to like watch that live observed at the NECC LAN, and it looks very, very fun. So,
and
I definitely want to branch out more.
I think a lot of people in esports, especially at the level that we are all at, maybe outside you, because I feel like you with the events that you've done this year, one, it's insane. Like, I was like, that's gonna be the next thing we talk about. This has been a really busy year for you. It seems already, and we're about halfway through the 5th month of it. I mean, you've done a lot of big events here.
Yeah, it's crazy. I have not gone to a LAN before this year. Like, I've worked LANs, but never actually gone to one. But like within like March to basically now, I've physically gone to 3 LANs. And I got to be like content lead for 2 of them, and it's so crazy. Like, I it's the best. It's so nice. I love it. I love it. I love it.
So, what were the 3 lands? Because I want to say, were you at the Fun Haver?
Yes.
Then what you just talked about NECC, were you also at CECC, or is there another one?
Nah, there was like a small one that I did with Adam for Mac, MAAC. So, yeah. Those are the 3 that I did.
What's okay, so we'll talk about the content lead thing here a little, because I didn't know you did that role in them. But like, when you go to LANs, no matter the big or small here, like you said, it was the first one you've done in a while. But like, what's the general like kind of vibe for you? Because you're working with, I assume, people that you know a little bit here or have worked with in the past. Like, is it? I imagine it's a lot like what we kind of see in the BPL, the CGL, the Kitsune kind of lobbies, where there's a lot of fun going on before and after the series, but during it you guys are locked in. Or is it because you guys are all in the same place, it's a little bit more kind of serious or locked in? Like, what's the kind of vibe for those?
Oh man, this is something that only comes out in Overwatch because I don't. Okay, so I treat Overwatch like my fun weekend, Like, I have a lot of fun with Overwatch. So I will be goofing off a lot, while also like trying to, I guess I also try to do my best or whatever. But like, for my Valorant gigs and my other gigs and LANs, I become evil Reachdat, and I get very serious. And I think Orange can attest to me yelling at some people. because I've had in both LANs, since I'm leads for certain departments, I need people to listen to me. I haven't really been able to observe that much at LANs, which is kind of sad, but I'm not very fun. I'm fun afterwards. I get drunk and I have fun, but definitely not. I'd say during, I become very, very, very locked in, because I want to do the best that I can without goofing off.
I made your image evil reach that while you're
talking. Oh, thank you. See, that's me. That was me at Fun Haver LAN. I was not having fun.
Fun Haver looked like an incredible kind of show right there, because Fun Haver it's not a. I don't want to get this wrong. Fun Haver was not a. It's not a. It wasn't a tier 1 event. It was a tier 2 event, right?
I think it's technically tier 3 because it's not affiliated with Riot, but it has all tier 2 teams. So technicality, yes.
I mean, it's great to see that tier 2 is having LANs, especially with Fun Haver, because Fun Haver, I mean, a lot of people that we know have, I think, done stuff with Fun Haver. I don't drawing blanks on names again. What am I drawing? But I mean, like, I completely understand where you're coming from with, like, having a game where it's kind of like your goof off, kind of relax kind of game, because that's basically me with Rocket League. I go there, I have a whole bunch of fun when I cast Rocket League, but after it's just like, okay, I'm not going to necessarily get too mad about anything that I said during Rocket League, because some of the stuff that I said is really, really stupid, especially like this past weekend when you have a player who decides to name themselves Anime Thighs. But Hunter, Mega, I know you guys have branched out a little bit and casted some other games. Is there any game that you guys kind of look at as like you're casting this one or you're working this game, just kind of have some fun with it?
Which charity stream did I get pulled into? There's been ones for SPCS, like SPCS, or I think there's maybe one for Trank when Trank still existed. I don't know, but it was literally like the first time I'd ever been on Trank, and like it was very chill, and like immediately I jumped in, and like I was trying to be serious, but I quickly realized, oh, this is not supposed to be serious. We're supposed to be chill. We're supposed to have fun, and so it just immediately became a fun house. Like that's immediately what comes to mind for me.
You have different experiences with Trank and SPCS
yes.
charity broadcast
Yeah.
charity events.
Listen,
you guys are there to have fun. I'm there to fucking torture myself.
You did it to yourself, sir. That's
Hey, no, people donating did it to
real.
me.
So what you're saying is you're blaming people who donated to charity for
Yes.
your pain and suffering. All
Yes.
right, understandable. Well, my answer is about the same as Megalass. Like I do like Marvel Rivals occasionally. I want to try other games, but I don't think I could go in anytime in the near future in a different game and have as much fun as I do specifically with Overwatch. Because obviously, I think we all agree we will take it serious when we need to. When we have the thing, it's like, hey, we got to lock in, we do this. But like, if I'm going into a match, you know, and it's not completely serious, I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna have my fun. I'm gonna say some wacky ass shit. You know, I'm gonna have a good time. That's just how it is at the end of the day. Obviously, if like I'm being paid for a gig, it's like, all right, don't fuck around nearly as much. Maybe a tiny bit, maybe just a tiny bit, a healthy amount.
You have to be somewhat whimsical,
Yeah,
especially as
I
someone
don't,
who's in front of the camera.
I don't want to just be a robot who just says specific. Well, of course, I'm English. Holy shit! You wouldn't believe I'm a caster by the way I talk sometimes.
Have you heard?
But,
have you heard me today?
Quite a few times, yeah.
Sadly.
Uh,
But I mean, you talked about being a production. Shit, what was it? Sorry.
you got this. Come on.
No, Reach, help me out here, please.
Don't
yeah.
do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't want to say prod lead because I know it wasn't that. What was it?
Oh, content lead.
Yeah. What like?
Oh yeah,
what,
yeah.
What was that like? Because that's a little bit different than I'm assuming that's a little bit or a lot different than just being an observer. Like, what does that all entail, especially at these LAN events?
Yeah, okay. This is like my favorite thing ever. So basically, I put on my Twitter for my like post LAN thing, but it's like as an observer, my goal is to show that people are players, like how people can be skilled players, but as a content lead is to show that players are still people. So that's my mantra when I'm doing content. So I specialize in interviews and like funny videos. Basically anything where you can see the players interacting and just being people outside of the game. So if you're ever at a LAN with me and you're a caster, I will be dragging you around to get like interviews done before their matches start. Like 5 minute in, like literally 30-second interview, like how are you feeling? How's the LAN? Blah, blah, blah. And then you're out casting and then the players are in. So it's like it's very hectic and it's a lot of fun. I love it.
Next time you go to a LAN, you need to do that, but you're just pulling random people from the production. Well, like
I low-key did that though. I asked the social media guy to come and help me.
do you have any?
Because he was free.
Do you have any videos of that are posted?
Yes, they're all. I mean, let me find like an interview.
Yeah.
That I did.
But like that's always a fun thing. Even as casters at the couple of LANs that I've been at, it's like you get to talk to the players a little bit more. So like you get the more human side of them rather than the player side, because I mean, let's be honest, some esport players, the player side is a thing, while the person side is really, really nice.
Yep.
And I imagine at the events you've done where they're big events, it's insane to kind of see that little difference in some of the players, and especially some of the more talented players as well.
Yeah. So my favorite player No, not my favorite. What am I saying? My least favorite player in the entire world. I will not name drop, but everyone who does Valorant with me knows who this is. I hate this guy. Oh my god. They'll join lobby 20 minutes late after eating a grilled cheese sandwich and spam R as if we haven't been waiting for 20 minutes. Oh my god. And then everyone is like, "Oh yeah, but this guy's so nice outside of the game." And I'm like, "You don't see what I have to deal with behind the scenes." So, I met him in person because he got MVP for the match, and I begged the casters to not choose him, but they chose him. So I had to like talk to him, and I guess he was not that mean or anything, but man,
Would you
it's
put
crazy.
would you put that player into the category of being late on purpose or just being kind of dumb?
I don't know because he keeps friend requesting me on Valorant, and I keep denying it, and he keeps doing it because I think he knows that it's pissing me off. It's gotta be malicious. Malicious. It's gotta be.
At this point, next time your friend requests you, don't even do anything with it. Just have it sitting there.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do next time. Because oh my god, wow, wow.
But I mean, so one thing I actually want to talk about here, or actually before we move away from doing stuff at lands, Hunter, Mega, is there any questions you guys want to ask Reach about doing, whether it be the content lead or observing at lands, like anything about that?
There's so many good questions to ask, but lands is such a detached concept for me because of being pixelated, so to speak, that I just don't think I would ever know anything.
Yeah, I don't have the excuse of being in the pixelated world when it comes to lands. So I don't know if I have questions specifically in that regard. I have my occasional my silly questions that sit by Dex, but I think I might save those for when things go to utter hell in about 30 minutes.
What do you mean we could go to utter hell sooner than that? We've certainly done it in other episodes. But Reach, I want to talk about one thing, and something that happened very, very recently, as in just this past weekend. What the hell was it like working probably an over 16-hour long production?
Oh, I have worked long days before. But working long days as purple obs without my orange, like you should have seen the DMs I sent her because I was actually fuming. I think I literally shed tears at one point because the players just would not finish their freaking giraffes and get into game. Oh my god, it was a horrible experience. Like I am so appreciative of Solomon for like trying to make sure that we either get compensated or like that it's acknowledged that the working conditions were not the best. Yeah, I just appreciate Solomon so much for that.
Yeah, no, and like we've had Solomon on before, and like it's insane what he does and how he is always so even and mellow tempered. Like I don't think I've truly ever heard Solomon get pissed off before. I imagine based on what you're just saying about what happened this weekend with the Gauntlet, I believe it was called, it kind of feels like one of those situations where Solomon might not have been his normal kind of like chill self.
Oh yeah, no. I didn't like hear it in voice, but like in the DMs, not the DMs, like the text chat, like Solomon was very, very clear, like very much putting his foot down. So it's very cool to see.
And I mean, it's great when you have someone like that who is willing to actually like step up and put their foot down, like you just said. Because a lot of the time, especially with those kind of tournaments, like the players, they don't necessarily have any kind of care about what the production side is like in them. So having someone who will always kind of have your back is a nice thing. But I mean, a 16-hour long event, I think all the photos of like how long the stream actually was about 15 and a half hours. But I imagine for you guys, it was probably an hour long call time to get everything set up, because I know Rivals is a very intensive game to say the least.
Yeah. It's just so much. It's just so much. When you go in game, the fights last a million years because the Zen ult lasts 12 seconds for some reason. Oh, sorry. Oh my god. Sorry. So they last like 12 seconds, and then it's like so heavy on your computer. Ugh. The game is just like so much. It's just so much.
Yeah, and like I think that's the biggest problem with me and Rivals. I think I've said it on this podcast before. Like, I just think it was like, in my honest opinion, I think Rivals released 6 months too early. I think it needed to release in June. Have more betas, have more alphas, or just more test weekends to kind of work everything out, because it is very, very heavy on your computer. The optimization's not necessarily there. A lot of the shaders are huge. Like, with everything that was going on with the Gauntlet this week, I randomly got a random video from I believe a North Carolina high school esports league who was having their big LAN event this weekend, and they literally said every time they tried to load 12 players into a Marvel Rivals lobby, it tripped the circuit, it tripped the breaker because of how heavy everything was on. And they were like, I think what they eventually did was, actually, I don't know what they did. They said there's three options: spread out all 12 computers over the entire venue they were at, have them play online, or just cancel the event, which honestly would suck if you're a high schooler, because you're in this major event, you're in this major venue, which I believe was somewhere in Charlotte. I think it was at Bank of America Stadium. They have a huge venue hall there. I know that. But I have a feeling that's just a horrible thing to have happen there. But like, with your work in Rivals, I know it's not your main one, but do you kind of run into those issues where it's such a heavy load intensive game where it takes you guys a little bit to kind of get set up and get going?
Sorry. Wait, sorry, could you repeat that?
With Rivals being a very heavy, like, load intensive game, whether it be with assets or just the optimization of it, do you guys, especially for the Gauntlet, did you guys have to like prepare in advance for stuff taking a while to necessarily load up and get ready?
I feel like that process of like making sure everything looks good for streams, at least on the observer side, was like a month-long process where each week we'd be like, oh, something's wrong with our, like, with the observer feeds, they're like choppy, so we need to up this. And then I just like bought an entirely new PC because the PC I was using before was not very good. So like that took a while. Like everyone, we slowly got to a point where it's like, okay, this looks okay. We can roll with this. So like that process, it's just been like a long time going. But I think we're at a good place where it's like we can basically start up a stream pretty quickly ish and have very little issues. I don't know.
The fact that you just said it was about a month long kind of effort there for that event is insane, because I think Solomon did mention something about it when he was on, that something could be coming up down the line with that, but I didn't necessarily know it was that. But I mean, it seemed like from everything that I saw, because I was only able to watch a little bit, it seemed like there wasn't that many problems, and that there's a lot of people who are honestly giving the flowers to the production, because it was a very, very good production for what Rivals is at the moment.
Yeah, the graphics that they did looks really cool, and like all the players were very nice, and then like everyone got their kudos by Shroud. I think so. It was okay. It was good.
But now kind of moving away from Rivals here, it seems like Valorant is your kind of mainstay game here, or the game that you would probably say is your main. Am I correct with that?
Yeah.
I poorly observed Valorant one time in my life. Like, I think I immediately tweeted after it, like, I gotta give a lot of credit to Valorant observers, because I do not know how you do this with mouse and keyboard. And then Hippie immediately sent me something saying, "Hey dumbass," basically, "Hey dumbass, here's a program so you can use a controller." I was like, wow, I'm stupid. But like, what with Valorant being a much slower game than what Rivals and what Overwatch is, like you kind of talked about when we were talking about just VOD reviewing yourself, like what's the one thing that you had to, or one thing that you got really comfortable with Valorant just in general?
So I'm a gold player. Technically I'm bronze right now, but we don't talk about that. I'm a gold player in Valorant. So I would not say that I'm a good player necessarily, but my game sense is very, very, very high because of how much like good Valorant I've observed. And like Valorant is a game where you have to have game sense. If you don't, you cannot reasonably. It's not like Overwatch where if you hear like the Genji blade, you can go to the Genji blade and expect some action, either if he dies or gets a kill, like something's gonna happen. Like Valorant is, you have to have a lot of game sense. So that's something I've developed in my years. Is just having like a good amount of game sense. And oh my god, you have to keep up with the meta so much as well, because each number is different and like the interactions between. Oh my god, it's a lot of studying and keeping up on top of things.
Yeah, and I think that's always something, like I think that's what's kind of keeping me away from trying to get into Valorant, is because I played a little bit at the start when it first came out. I understood everything a little bit, and I tried my hand at casting it twice. You can ask Unfeatured how those went. Not go good. But like,
Coward.
what?
Coward.
Don't call me a coward.
Hey, listen, I've been in the Valorant VOD dungeon. It sucks, absolutely, but I'm calling you a coward, absolutely.
That's just unfair, but okay. Yes. But like, especially because I always look at Valorant and I just say, okay, it's CSGO just mixed with Overwatch, where I have said in the past, they designed that game to be played slow, but they really make some of the abilities have to, where it basically forces you to play the game too fast for what the game is. And I might be dead wrong with that statement, just because I don't think I played Valorant in like a year now. But it seems every time they add a new character or they call them what? Operators?
Agents.
God damn.
Close.
I know the sniper's called the operator.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're thinking
Operators are Rainbow Six.
Yeah, you're thinking of Rainbow Six.
Yeah, let's not talk about Rainbow Six right now.
Oh yeah.
Shout out that dude from Liquid who just absolutely probably killed that team.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Half of Liquid's assets.
Just gone.
Hey, I remember saying at the start of after stage 1 of OWCS, I could see Liquid leaving OWCS. I didn't think this would be the reason, but man, are we close to seeing it happen. But getting back to it here, Valorant, I mean, it's an insane game to learn because, like you said, you have to learn a lot about all the characters, about their play styles, and it doesn't necessarily matter at some points, because a lot of times it's just like, hey, and you click heads and that will get you through it. Like, it's insane to just kind of see high level play, because you see a great mixture of it sometimes. But from what you do, Reach, with observing, I mean, let me ask this question: what kind of observing do you like to do better? Do you like to do the first person stuff or the free cam stuff more in Valorant?
I've gotten to a point where I specialize in POV now. I don't do free cam as much.
Is it a little bit difficult in Valorant? Because I would assume like you always kind of have to be between a couple characters who are like facing off and kind of zoomed out, so you can get abilities, smokes, flashes, like all that stuff in view, so everyone has a good idea of what's going on.
For free camming, yeah, so I only know, I'm not going to name names because I think I will get sniped, but I only know one free cam observer who I think is good. Everyone else has some improvement that they can do, but this free cam observer, he literally, like, oh my god, it's so perfect. Like, gets everything in view, dynamic shots, amazing. Like, it's definitely not something you can just kind of, it's very easy to get like boring with it, you know, show the sight, show the bomb, show the defuse, like it's like you can hit the marks that you're supposed to, but if you want to be good, like, oh my god, you have to be like him. Oh my god, he's the best. Amazing.
Let me ask this, especially with working with other people, because I imagine you're not observing. There's not one POV and one free cam a lot in Valorant. There is always, I would assume there's 2 POVs and one free cam at the least.
No, it's always one POV, one free cam in Valorant.
Okay. Then let me rephrase the question. Is there times where there's more than one POV?
No, never.
Fuck. Well, there goes the second part of that question. Here, let me ask this question. What's the worst agent to have to observe, whether it be third or whether it be first? Like, who's the worst in your opinion?
Oh god, the worst I think is Yoru, because when he throws out his clone, it looks like another player is on the map. So sometimes I will try to switch to the clone without realizing that I'll be like, why is the Yoru just running into the site by himself? But I switch and the Yoru's just like in Narnia. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just, I'm being baited. So that happens a lot.
Back when you call out the one agent I have a poster of on my wall.
Oh.
Is, like Yoru's my guy. I was there for the footsteps. I love Yoru. I was there. Fucking love him. Anyway.
I don't know. Like the last time I played Valorant, I think it was right after Neon came out. And I just remember pissing off so many of my friends because back when I was in college, or at least still around my college esports team, we were just getting lobbies and like play a 5-on-5. I would just always run it down main with Neon with a shorty or a Bucky and end up finding two kills like every other round. It pissed people off so much.
Listen, that game is great. It like, I understand, like, don't get me wrong, there definitely is going to be challenge. Like, I could never observe that game. Like, my Overwatch observing is already bad, but the idea of learning Valorant observing, I give you full props, because holy shit, that sounds awful. But it's a great game.
Here, Reach, let me ask you this. What's the easiest game that you work with, and what's the hardest one that you work with? Like, I imagine Val is going to be probably leaning towards the easier one because that's the one you work with the most. But like, what is like any game that you worked with, even if it's like one time, like what has been the easiest? What's kind of been the hardest one to like consistently do good or just kind of pick up?
Oh, the easiest one is Rocket League by far because you literally do not observe in that game.
I have to agree with
the
you
hardest. Oh god, the hardest. I'm inclined to say Valorant just because my standard for doing good is so high that I don't feel like I'm a good observer in Valorant. But like for other games, I just like don't know enough. I don't invest enough time into it to like really. So I just like go in and do it. I don't really think about it. But like with Valorant, it's very hard. It's a lot of brain power. It's hard in that way. Yeah.
Let me make another joke of myself right here. Hey, a lot of brain power is needed for Valorant. Why I don't fucking play it. But Mega Hunter, is there anything that you guys want to ask Reach about, potentially working in any of the games, whether it be observing or with observing?
Hunter, you got something?
I might have something brewing in the kitchen here.
He's got a 7-Up.
Okay.
I do have a 7-Up, so I'm definitely brewing something. It's partially going through the green screen, by the way, which is glorious. Here's something. You observed probably hundreds, if not thousands, of players at this point. Is there someone that perhaps you have a fancy towards like observing, or someone that just you've had like either a really good or really terrible time like observing, besides who you have brought up previously? Who shall not?
Oh man. Okay, so I have a favorite. I have a big favorite. His name is Joba. he is like the Sentinel player for Tamu in Valorant. I've known of him as long as I've known Adam. So like that one like month where I did like the DreamHack and Red Bull and all that, like his team was at all 3 or 4 events that I did. So it was very like I really got to like know that team very well and the player. And so yeah. That's like the only player that really stands out to me, other than the other guy who I will not name. Everyone else I don't
I
I
mean,
don't really
you could
care.
always name drop. It's not like they're ever gonna.
Yeah.
It's not like they're ever gonna hear about this podcast.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
That's right. It's Darkest DARK3ST on Twitter. I cannot stand that guy. God damn.
Zero
Dropping the
hesitation. Read out his social security number next. Oh my god.
Dropping the Twitter. No, we got the gamer tag. We need the real name, and then we get his social security number.
Oh God, I don't even know.
Actually, this could be a fair question as well, because speaking, like, obviously, not just specific players, right? But as you're going through a match, right? If you see someone is, I believe the kids say, on a heater, or just basically being a living highlight reel, do you find those situations easier or harder because it ends up being a lot of POV on a single person?
You don't really see it. You really do not feel like that in the most of the games that I observe. Someone can be doing well, but it's usually accompanied by someone on the other team doing well, so it becomes more like a duel, in which case it's hard. But when you're observing like D7, like plat average games, there will usually be someone who's just like popping the fuck off and getting like 40 kills and everyone else is getting 0. Oh my god, there was one time when there was someone who was getting all the kills in the lobby and my fire alarm went off. So I just left it on that POV and dipped. I went downstairs. And then when I came back up, they were still alive and getting kills. Like I did not miss anything because they were just going crazy. So I guess it's nice for when you have fire drills in your dorm.
We had to deal with a fire alarm about 2 weeks ago.
I think we've all been through that now at this point, haven't we? The fire alarm during cast. I feel like we've all been there now.
Actually, it has not happened to me in a cast. It's happened to me
Right.
for this podcast,
Fair.
but not on a cast. And I fear for the day it does, because I'm gonna be so real. I'll just hope the building's not burning. I'm casting through it.
Yeah, I'm burning down with the building. It's just GG's. Gotta get through the map.
Like like one of the last years for World Cup, like the fire alarm went off during group stage. It was like 3 a.m. Everybody was tired, and all of a sudden the fire alarm's going off. So I just remember Reinforce and Jaws were like, "What the hell do we do?"
I mean, I think that also happened in like qualifiers for OWCS like last year, where a game was put on a technical pause because one of the players had to actually evacuate the building that they were in because of a fire alarm. But Reach, let's talk about some people that we know here. Let's talk about like working with people like Orange, who you've mentioned here, who we've had on this podcast before. What is it kind of like working with them? Because we all know Orange as one very good at what they do, but they do bring a lot of chaotic energy to a lot of the stuff they do. What is it kind of like working with like some of your closest friends in these productions?
It's so fun. Orange and I spend a lot of time together. Like all of Hiva Swiba spends a lot of time together. Like usually doing cooperative stuff. I don't know if Orange mentioned this, but like we're like either queuing together or doing D&D together. So it's like we're working together. And then I feel like that energy really goes into our prod work together, where we'll just have like really good synergy and it's super fun and we joke around a lot and it's really fun. Yeah.
I mean, like we've seen, like I know all of us have been a part of the Hiba Spiba stuff with you guys and everyone else has kind of joined in with that. But we've all been a part of times where it's been you, it's been Orange, it's been a couple other people as well who have been observing games, and we could tell, like, even from casting not being in the call, there's just some times where you guys are seeming like it's kind of out there. Like I will always go back to the random map or the random series where we were on Blizzard World, and Orange was so focused on a chair.
Oh my god. I remember that.
Where they wouldn't leave the actual chair until I think it was Knock who Knock would they wouldn't leave the chair until Knock actually put the stream on them. And I remember casting it, and that came up as like, yes, that is a very nice chair. But like, is it like we've had a lot of people say like it's really fun with those type of things, and like you just said, it's really fun. But like, is it more of a thing of like it's fun because everyone else is there is kind of having fun, or is it just fun because you're working with someone that you're able to kind of mess around with while doing it?
I think for me, it's the combination of it being Overwatch and it being around like friends, I guess. Yeah, because Orange has worked with me in Valorant before. I do not joke around. I'm very serious, generally. So it's like an environment where we can let loose. So.
Yeah, and based on what you kind of said earlier with Mean Reach coming out when you're doing Valorant, I imagine, especially with someone like Orange, that is a like. I imagine Orange has gotten used to it, but I imagine the first time that happened, Orange had to be taken aback by it.
Yes, she DM'd Cry to say Reach is speaking so fast, and I'm scared. I was like word vomiting, trying to get all the directions out that I needed to happen, and and I guess it startled them. Oh my god.
Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared. Reach is speaking really fast, and I don't know what she's saying. But like Orange is one of the more fun people to work with, because like they will, like I kind of said, they will lock in and do an incredible job, but in between maps, in between rounds, and before and at the end of the series, there's going to be some really interesting stuff that gets brought up.
Who's got Nitro? Who's got the Orange Club?
Don't know. Someone does though.
Someone does. It's just a time for the awakening.
I need to get Nitro. I need to get Nitro for this channel just so we have those kind of clips.
We just have the soundboard. Listen, there's so many soundboardable moments, and again, it's one of those things where, like you were kind of saying, Dex, like you don't even have to be in the VC to know it's like Orange and Reach sometimes, or like Orange and Cry, or any combination of the three of you. Really, there's like a chaotic energy that just exudes into the broadcast sometimes, and it's great.
Now, if we were to put them on that chaotic scale, like chaotic neutral, chaotic good, or chaotic bad, where are you going here?
Ooh.
Or actually, wait. What Reach? Where are you putting yourself?
I think I'm lawful neutral, because everything that I get made fun of, I made with my full heart. Those decisions were made with my full heart. When I drank that milk, I did it with my chest. I did it with my chest, and then I regret it. But I made that decision.
I fucking forgot about the
I made that decision.
You did it 3
rationally.
times.
Okay, the other times I was like, surely it'll be fine, and it wasn't. But it happens.
There are dates. There are literal dates on the thing.
Yeah, and I didn't check it until after I drank it, because why would I expect my milk to do that to me? Like, it's just absurd. It's gluttony with
I'm gonna be honest. I
So
forgot.
Reach is going to take down Big Milk. You heard it here first.
I forgot about the chunky milk. That was the first 2 months of
Chunky
this
milk.
year. I felt like every time I was with either you or Orange, that got brought up. I forgot it. It was gone from my mind for 3 months, but now it's back.
Fucking milk.
Yeah, so for that reason, my
For that
humble opinion is a minimum of chaotic neutral, and then it can go to chaotic good depending on what is occurring on the screen. But there's never evil or malice. It's simply joyous whimsy that goes too far with this group of people. It's great.
I might put drinking the chunky milk not once, not twice, but 3 times in chaotic evil.
It was not
Honestly,
intentional.
It's pretty
I did it 3
justified.
times.
3 times.
You know,
Had to really triple check. Had to make sure.
it might not be this time.
Please don't tell me you ran into the situation again since.
Not with milk, but
No.
there were some other incidents that I will not share because I'm keeping that to myself. It's so embarrassing.
Can I at least ask? Was it another liquid?
It was water. Is that better or worse?
Wait,
When I waterboard myself.
That needs to be clipped.
I'm more perplexed now. Reach, I want to know what you did.
Okay, so basically, I had a water bottle on my desk, and then I went to spring break, and then I came back, and I was like, "Oh, water!" And oh my god, dude, I like that. Oh, worst decision ever, dude. I fucking spat it out immediately. Oh, so yeah, it was bad, and I threw it away. I promise I threw it away.
I'm believing you. I'm believing you here. I don't think it's worse than the chunky milk, because did you actually swallow the chunky milk?
I got like a swig, and then my tongue touched something, and I was like, "Oh, and then I called my mom. My mom was like, "If it tastes bad, then don't drink it." And I was like, "I don't know what bad milk tastes like." So, yeah.
You always smell the milk first. You can always smell if milk.
It just smelled like chocolate because it was chocolate milk.
Oh well.
So it was like throwing me off.
Gosh, I can't wait for this to be the YouTube short this week, Dex. I can't wait for it.
The chunky milk. Yeah.
I have to take a guess of where this was.
Let's check the GIF. What happens if I look up chunky milk? What happens? Holy shit!
So anyway,
yeah. Hey, how about
I'm not
this,
gonna do that.
Hunter, Mega? Before you get to your normal thing, any questions you have for our guest here that doesn't revolve around chunks?
Well, I guess I can't ask about Minecraft. Gosh.
No, actually, ask ahead. Ask away.
Ask away about Minecraft. Okay, so listen. Say you're at like Y12, right? Is that the optimal? Is that the optimal level for gold? Do you think, or like, what's the deal with that? Like Y12 for gold, yeah.
For gold?
Yeah. So
I have not stripped. I have not strip mined in years because I just throw all my stuff into a chest and then I run in there and I get as much stuff I can and then I just repeat that process until I find something cool.
All right. See.
So, yeah, my answer is I don't know.
Guys, remember I said we could always go off the rails a lot sooner than what we normally do here. And Hunter, you're trying to upload a GIF. It's not fucking.
It's a good GIF, and I just it won't load properly. It's bullshit.
Okay, Hunter, what about your question?
God, now I spent 2 minutes trying to load a freaking GIF, and now I don't have a question. Let me pull up the random question generator. Give me 1 second.
Here, while he pulls up the random question generator, Reach. I mean, like you've done a lot of events already this year.
I'm not asking that.
But you do. Okay, I don't want to know. you still do a lot of stuff online and with all these kind of community leagues. Like, what's the biggest difference from working with, community leagues like CGL and BPL, and I imagine that you probably work on some Valorant ones as well, going over to those LAN events, other than just being in person? Like, what is the true biggest difference, or the biggest thing that you've kind of realized is like not necessarily the same between them?
Like any semblance of knowing what the fuck you're doing in any moment is not there at a LAN, because for like these community leagues like CGL and BPL and like the other productions that I do, they're very well prepared and there's a very good script that you have to follow. But once you're in a LAN, oh my god, all that goes out the window. You can like try to follow the schedule, but it's not gonna happen. So there's a lot of like it's just a lot of panic. It's just panic for like 16 hours straight. It's just panic.
16 hours straight, and you just did a 16-hour long online event where you probably did have a script, but less said about.
I'd rather have a LAN. I'd rather go to a LAN at that point.
Yeah, because at least once it's said and done, you're gonna be able to hang out with everyone that just also went through hell with during that time.
Yep.
All right, Hunter, was a random question machine brought up?
Well, I gave it about 3 different websites, did about 30 different generations, and only found one question that I thought had any semblance of common sense or anything that could delve into a fun topic. Reach. Pizza or tacos?
Can we cancel Hunter?
The only good one!
Mega, we tried canceling me like 2 or 3 times. I don't think we're gonna be able to cancel Hunter.
I like tacos, I guess.
Got tacos. We got tacos. We love to hear it. You guys answered the question too. You know what? You're gonna laugh at the question.
Not even close. It's pizza. Not even
pizza.
close.
What?
Okay,
a good New York or New Haven slice. Oh my god.
Okay. You can consider the very top, but you also have to consider what the ceiling is like. You can make a really fucking bad pizza. Okay.
You can
I know I won't make a bad pizza. You know why? I've made pizza before. These hands are.
Oh yeah, where's it at? Pull it up. Where's the pizza, huh?
Say, dog. I will literally check it. Right. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Whatever LAN event I can get to at some point, I'm gonna make you all pizza.
Perfect. There we go.
That's gonna be. I'm gonna make sure we get the podcast at a LAN at some point here, and the entire episode is just gonna be dedicated to Mega making a pizza.
That's gonna be heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do need to have the cooking stream. Dex.
I burnt my fucking hand making a fucking quesadilla a couple days ago.
Listen,
okay?
I haven't forgotten the pancakes, okay? I have not forgotten.
I haven't either. That's why I made quesadillas next. Yeah, no, but it's pizza. It's pizza. It's pizza all the way through. Like I said, the ceiling's high with tacos, but at some point you're just adding so much shit to it that half it's gonna be on the plate anyway. At least when you do that with pizza, you can just throw it back on the pizza. Also, pineapple on pizza is really good. Yep. All right, Mega. Yep. See you, Hunter.
Yep, and there goes Hunter. All right. So yeah, this is generally the question we end with Reach. So this is very important. Need your full intellect here.
This is
okay.
Like, it's insane the answers we've gotten for this question. Like Mega has came up with a really good question that throws everyone off.
Nobody expects it, right? Okay. So Reach, you've heard of the show Blue's Clues, right? You ever like watch it or just like heard of it?
I think I've heard of it.
You've heard of it? Okay. So listen, right? Do you know what would your reaction be if I told you that the person who owned the house where Blue's Clues took place in was Mr. Salt, the Salt Shaker?
Who?
There's a salt shaker. His name is Mr. Salt. And he, on the deed of the house, is listed as the owner. Like an animated talking salt shaker gets paid rent by a human.
Here, I'll pull up Mr. Salt for you.
Yeah.
Mr. Salt is a genius.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on the salt shaker being a landlord? There he is.
Off-putting, I guess.
Off-putting. Interesting.
Off-putting.
Hold on, wait, that's the movie one. Here, wait, close that whatever massive ad that is. Go to the original. There's my guy. That guy owns a house.
Which is insane.
He's a homeowner in this economy. Think about that.
He was a homeowner back in the 90s.
I mean, he still owns the home.
Yeah.
His. He's got like 3 generations of his family living there. So just off-putting. That's all. That's all we got.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
All right. See that's a brand new response actually. So I respect.
That is. But I'm gonna say this, Mega. You coming up here, you might have to start thinking of a second question to ask, just to kind of keep people on their toes, because eventually we're gonna bring someone on who watches this podcast regularly, so they're gonna know every answer. They're gonna know about this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but see, would it be crazy if I told you I already was cooking something up in the back for that? If that happened.
Hey, I'm ready for it. I'm scared, but I'm ready for it.
No, it's still being cooked. It's still being cooked. We can reveal next week maybe.
But Reach, we've been asking you questions this entire time. You have any questions necessarily for us?
Could I get a sneak peek for who's coming up next?
We have no idea.
Oh man.
Yeah, Reach, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I messaged you about coming on, that's normally when I started messaging people. Hey, are you able to come on? Yeah, it should be before Sunday. I really need to start doing it before Sunday.
Okay, hear me out. I think you should just outlandishly say someone without even messaging them.
That way they're obligated. Yeah,
exactly.
That's smart. That's really smart.
It ruins.
Oh my god, you're gonna bring Bren and Sideshow onto the podcast next week? That's freaking crazy.
God.
No,
oh my god.
I can't believe they agreed to that.
I had to fucking pay them.
Dude, that podcast
fun,
would go
buddy.
hard. Like, here's the thing, one or the other of them, that would go hard. Absolutely. That would go hard for an episode.
It would. But I have to pay them to be here.
No, you don't. Listen, this is going to blow up, Trev. Like I said,
joke.
we're getting reinforced by the end of the year. It's happening.
Didn't we say by episode 50 we were hoping? Yeah, that's the goal.
Episode 51, because episode 50 we've all kind of decided that's gonna be the roast of the 3 of us.
That's true. Bring everybody back.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like the Smash though. Everybody is here.
Everyone's here. Everyone's back. All right, but Reach, hey, thank you so much for taking some time out of your Monday evening here to do this podcast. It was great to have you on. And Hunter, Mega, thank you guys as always for being here and enduring with me, I guess. I know that's not necessarily the best of times sometimes.
Shut up, you're great.
Debatable.
You're fine. I have signed up to work with you very much.
I signed up to work with you.
You make a good point. I did recruit you, so that is a pretty fair judgment.
Yeah, maybe you can get Mega in there a time or two if
I do want Mega. I remember telling you that I wanted to involve both you at some point. So
no, believe it or not, I wasn't messaged. Therefore, Huntertain clearly hates me.
You're getting calls. All right, you're getting calls, Mega. All right.
I'm not picking up. My pixelation fee is very heavy. You have to speak with my lawyers.
Do I have to buy? Is it like per pixel or like?
Yeah, you're paying per pixel, buddy.
That's crazy.
I'll take
a Reach. While these two have their debate about pixel payments. Thank you again so much for coming on and doing this. Again, just thank you. But everyone, that will do it for this week's episode of For the Love of Prod. Make sure you tune in next week. Please don't claw my face. Make sure you tune in next week, or that's my lip. Make sure you tune in next week when, as always, I don't know who the guest is going to be, but it's sure as hell going to be another good episode. Again, thank you, everyone. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us as well on Spotify. Every little number does help in those situations. But again, thank you so much, and see you guys again next week.